Last night, President Biden and former President Donald Trump took the stage for the first debate of 2024. The economy is expected to be a top issue for voters this year, and the candidates took aim at each other's policy.
The economy collapsed. There were no jobs. Unemployment rate rose to 15%. It was terrible. And so what we had to do is try to put things back together again.
Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us out of that COVID mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country.
Biden says Trump created an economy that only helped the wealthy. Trump says Biden caused inflation to spiral out of control. University of Illinois Springfield political science professor Kent Redfield says debates can be used to influence swing voters or reassure people who have already decided who they will vote for in November. But with current polling, most experts say this election will be decided by swing voters.
It is the easiest way for you to get information to voters is through the debate process. You can hit people immediately, and they get to see the candidates side by side.
The candidates are not only trying to impress the viewers, but they're also going to try and impress the commentators, the people that are going to be the filters for the way that that people get their information. So it can be terribly important.
There were many big takeaways from the debate, including the policy difference between the two candidates, as well as many people raised concerns over their age. Later in our show, we'll be taking a closer look at last night's event and the impact it had on voters. The first presidential debate of 2024 taking place last night. President Biden and former President Donald Trump took the stage for the first time since October of 2020. Here's more on some of the key takeaways from the event and how it's impacted voters.
This really was a history-making moment. It was the first time that a sitting president and a former president have debated. Both President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump defended their own records and went back and forth on issues like the economy, immigration, abortion rights, and foreign policy. It's the biggest moment of the presidential race so far. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump both hoping to make the other look unfit for office.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
What are you talking about? You have the morals of an alley cat.
The debate, tense at times.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
Underscoring what's at stake this November. The two went back and forth on a variety of issues, including immigration.
When he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated. That's not the right way to go.
We had the safest border in history. Now we have the worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place.
Abortion rights.
I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade. It's been a great thing.
It's been a terrible thing, what you've done.
The economy, which polls show is the #1 issue on the minds of voters.
He rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in American history, $2 trillion.
He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country.
The two have agreed to a second debate scheduled for September 10th. Now, some Democratic Party officials have privately expressed concerns about Biden's performance, citing some of the shaky moments. Vice President Kamala Harris, in an interview with CNN shortly after the debate, said that it's not about these 90 minutes, it's about the last few years and what their administration has done. When really pressed, she did admit that he had a, quote, slow start. Reporting in Atlanta, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Thank you, Julia. Many voters raised concerns over President Biden's age after last night's event, pointing to times where Biden seemed to lose his train of thought during the debate.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, destroying Medicare.
The two men took personal jabs at each other throughout the 90-minute debate. After the event was over, they did not shake hands. Illinois lawmakers reacting to the debate last night. Republican Mary Miller posting on social media, quote, "We need a president with the strength and energy to lead the free world. The American people are saying that Joe Biden is not capable of doing this job. Our adversaries are watching," end quote. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker also taken to social media, saying, quote, "The end of Roe has led to cruel abortion bans across our country, and Donald Trump is bragging about it. If given a second term, he will take it even further," end quote.
Don't miss a video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today for more Central Illinois news.